Laura Heft here, and I'm coming to you from ReSingled, and we are dedicated to helping you have great dating experiences and find your perfect partner. Today I'm going to offer some online dating tips. I'm going to start with a story about a friend of mine, and he really hated the dating experience. He described it as a trip to the junkyard, where you sift through the carnage to find the least damaged person, and then you date a bunch of people in order just to find one person that could possibly work with you, for you in the long-term relationship. So the whole journey for him was uncomfortable, painful, and miserable. I think I want to start with a little bit of background in terms of science. And the thing I want to point out here is that he had some really negative beliefs about the dating experience that I think really impacted his luck and made the dating experience even more miserable for him. So what do I mean by beliefs? Well, they're just the things that we think. It's our expectations. So for example, he had an expectation that most of the people that he was going to meet were damaged. And I think that's what he found because of that. So let's talk about how this happens and how we can avoid this happening to you. So what is a belief? Well, it's really just a thought that you have or an expectation. And you develop your beliefs after having several experiences. But there's really a lot of brain science behind it, which I'm not going to go into with a lot of detail today. But I will say that our brains are designed to help you survive. And so they're really focused on things that protect you from being hurt. They protect you so that you can survive. And if you think about the thousands of pieces of information that come into your environment every day, the brain's job is to focus on the things that could protect you and also to focus on the things that you believe so it can prove that you're right. This is called the confirmation bias. And it's so efficient at this that it'll hone in on anything that's relevant and actually filter out or ignore things that aren't. And that's really helpful, typically, to help us get through the day and navigate all this information and data that we have to deal with. But it can be actually a little harmful when we've got a lot of negative beliefs that we built up over time and we need to overcome them. So now that I've laid that foundation, let's talk about dating. And again, my friend who expected to find a lot of carnage and have bad experiences dating with a lot of hurt and emotionally unavailable people, he found that because that's what he expected. Who knows? He might have had a wonderful, perfect person right in front of him, but his brain was focused on finding these emotionally damaged people, and that's what he encountered. His brain was actually filtering out some of these healthy people. So how can you avoid that? Well, let's talk about maybe preparing for online dating. What are your beliefs about online dating? Have you ever thought about it? Many people have had some bad experiences. Maybe somebody ghosted you. They didn't respond. Or they weren't accurate in the information that they put on the site. Maybe their profile wasn't true or their picture wasn't right. Or maybe you haven't had any luck. You've been doing online dating for a long time and you're still not meeting the right person. Or maybe you feel like it just takes way too long. You have no patience anymore for all the communication back and forth. Or you feel like you go out on date after date and you're spending a lot of money and nothing ever happens. Okay, those are forming your beliefs. And it happens automatically, and it does get reinforced over time, but you may have to put aside some of those beliefs and give dating another chance with a different attitude. So if thinking about dating is miserable isn't working, how can you think about dating in a different way? One of my ideas is before you even start, set an intention to have a good time, to think of it as a journey, as an adventure into dating. And if you're not in the right mood to go online and start looking at profiles, don't. Wait until you are. What's the pressure to do it right now? Wait until you're in a good place to do that and you have the right mindset. And then when you do, let's think about all the benefits to online dating and why it should be a good experience. For one thing, oh my gosh, there are just so many people to choose from. Wow, it's a great shopping place. And then it's pretty easy, actually. You just find somebody, start a conversation, and then maybe decide together to go meet. It's very efficient, actually. And it can feel pretty safe if you're a person that maybe is intimidated by meeting people face to face or walking up to somebody at an event or when you're out. And you also just get the sense that you're not alone. There are so many people like you, like me, trying to make a connection. We're all in this together as humans. Okay, so there's a lot of reasons to feel okay about dating and online dating. Now, other things you can do is when you're sitting down and you're going through it, try to put the best of you out there and think of the best of them. And so maybe as you're swiping through people, it may feel kind of superficial, but maybe just offer a positive thought for these people as you're sliding past them. Or open your heart to be caring and respectful and thoughtful of who you want to meet next. Maybe ask for some divine guidance as you're going through it. All these things may seem silly, but they help you get in the right mindset to have a different self-fulfilling prophecy as you're dating. Okay, so let's say that you're scanning and you're finding some people that you might be interested in, and now you need to start a conversation or respond to their conversation. So how do you do that? Well, sometimes that can even cause a lot of stress because, oh my gosh, what do I say? I don't want to come across as needy. I don't want to be too aggressive. I want to be clever. I want them to think I'm funny. And maybe that's just putting way too much pressure on ourselves. What if instead we just said, I'm going to talk to someone as if I did just meet them at a party or I was just introduced. And, what do I have to lose? Really? If somebody doesn't respond to me, it's probably not even about me. It's probably more about them. They got busy or they decided not to date online anymore. Whatever. I really have very little to lose by just starting a conversation with somebody. And try to make it easy on yourself and just, I know this sounds kind of trite to just be yourself, but really make it simpler than it seems. All right, phase 3. Let's say that you've had some conversation with somebody and you're ready to meet them online. Okay, so now we're on to the first date. Let's talk about how to make that a good experience. First of all, think about it as let's just enjoy the journey. Now, don't put too much pressure on the date. This is just a time to go out and meet a new person and have some fun. I'd encourage you to think about going someplace or doing something that you enjoy. And then for sure you're going to be in a better mood and have a better attitude. So maybe there's a restaurant you've been dying to try, or you want to go to your favorite coffee shop because you know you're going to get your best coffee there. Or maybe there's an exhibit at the museum you'd like to go to. Or heck, we're all trying to get more exercise in. Maybe suggest going for a walk in the park for your first date. That keeps it really simple. Talk about yourself a little bit. What do you enjoy? What are your hobbies? What are you looking for? What are you hoping to find? And keep it light and keep it fun. And balance your time so that you're asking them questions as well. But don't make it like an inquisition. Have a good banter back and forth. But be willing to share a little bit about yourself too. Look for something that you like about them. Remember about your brain and the focus. So try to get your brain looking for the things that you like, because your brain is automatically going to be looking for things that you don't like. And say something comes up that you don't like. Well, what I would encourage you to do is, at least in this first meeting, try to set it aside a little bit. Give the person the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you misunderstood or you misheard what they said, or ask some questions if you need to confirm your assumption. But if you can make a game out of looking for 1 or 2 or 3 things that you like about each person that you meet, boy, is your dating experience going to be a lot different than my friends. And why not? Why not look for the best in all people? But let's say, okay, you're at the end of the date and you are in a situation where you don't think you want to go any further with this. I think it's best to let that person know in a respectful but honest way. And a simple thing that you can say that doesn't really create too many problems is just, I'm really grateful I got to meet you. I think you had a great sense of humor, or I love that you play the piano, and I like your accent. Whatever it is that you might be able to compliment, and then say, but I honestly don't feel the chemistry or the connection with you like I'd like to, and so I'm not going to move forward. And hopefully they'll respond okay to this. They are also in the dating game, and they know that these matches don't happen with every date. So hopefully they wouldn't be too surprised that there's not a connection. But if you do, then go forward with a second and a third date. And I think you'll find your attitude and your mindset and your expectations and your beliefs are going to change everything in terms of what you find when you date. All right, that's it. If you like what you heard, if you want to hear more, check out ReSingled.net. And there's also a book called ReSingled for more resources and information. Thanks.